The warship Horizon had disappeared 12 years ago. Every record said the same thing. Lost during exploration near the Shadow Star Cluster. No distress signal. No debris. No survivors. The galaxy believed it was gone forever. But they were wrong. On a silent night in space, an old monitoring station picked up a strange ghost signal. A faded beacon, repeating the Horizon's ID code. The same code from 12 years ago. The same frequency. The same voice of the ship's captain. It didn't make sense. The station officers tried to contact the ship, but no one answered. Only static. Only that cold, repeating beacon. When the Human Alliance learned the news, they didn't send diplomats. They didn't send scientists. They sent them. A small group known only as Special Forces. No one outside the government knew their real names. No one knew how many missions they had completed. People only whispered stories. Stories of battles won where no one else survived. Stories of enemies who feared them without ever seeing their faces. Now they were being sent to the place where the Horizon had returned. Their dark transport ship cut through the cold black of space as Commander Hale, the team leader, stared at the floating ghost on the screens. The Horizon drifted near a dead star, motionless, with no lights. Like a body frozen in space. Pilot Mira said quietly, 12 years, and it looks untouched. Hale didn't answer. He kept watching the ship. Something about it felt wrong. Too clean. Too perfect. Like it had never been missing at all. The Special Forces wore no bright colors. No symbols. Only steel-gray suits built for silent missions. Their faces remained calm, but inside, every one of them felt a quiet pressure. They had been sent for missions against pirates, warlords, and hidden weapon stations. But never for something that returned from the dead. Their ship approached the Horizon slowly. The scanners flickered again and again. "Sir," the technician whispered, "the Horizon is changing position." Hale frowned. "Engines." "No, sir. It's drifting, but not in a straight line. It's like space around it is bending." The word made the team uneasy. Space did not bend on its own. As they drew closer, a low hum filled their cabin. The sound didn't come from their ship. Came from the Horizon. A deep, soft vibration. It felt like a heartbeat. Then, a whisper came through the communication line. A human voice. Weak. Tired. "Help us." Myra's eyes widened. "That's Captain Red's voice. He died 12 years ago." The whisper repeated, "Help us." Static swallowed the voice, twisting it, slowing it, stretching it like something was pulling the sound apart. The team stood still. For the first time in years, even Hale felt a nervous drop in his chest. "Dock us," Hale ordered. "Sir, are you sure? We were sent because no one else could do this. Take us in." Their ship latched onto the airlock with a loud metallic echo. The lights dimmed. The hum of the Horizon grew louder, shaking their floor. The shadow star outside glowed faintly, as if watching them. The moment they connected, the Horizon systems awakened. Lights on its hull flickered in random patterns. Panels on the outside shifted slightly, as if the ship was breathing. Hale pressed a button on his wrist pad. "Team, helmets on. Weapons ready. Stay tight." The airlock door slid open. Cold air rushed into their suits. The smell was strange. Metal, dust, and something heavy like burned wires. They stepped into the Horizon. The hallway lights sparked weakly. Shadows stretched across the walls in odd shapes. The floor was perfectly clean. Too clean for a ship abandoned for 12 years. No bodies. No signs of damage. No aging. Something was wrong, Mira whispered. "Why does it look so fresh?" Before they could answer, the lights above them flashed white, then blue, then white again. The walls made a soft cracking sound, like metal shifting. Then the ship's gravity changed. It pulled left, then right, then forward. The team staggered but stayed on their feet. Hale's voice stayed steady. "Stabilizers on. Move." They advanced deeper into the ship. Every hallway looked the same. Every door looked untouched. But there were marks on the ceiling, long, dark scratches, as if something had crawled across it. No one spoke. As they turned into the central corridor, they found something that froze them in place. A message on the wall, carved by hand. The letters were rough, shaky, desperate. Don't trust the ship. Under the message were fingernail marks. Real ones. Mira stepped back. Someone tried to warn us. Hale studied the message. Someone from the Horizon crew. A sudden alarm cut through the silence. Their ship, still docked outside, sent an emergency alert. Hale tapped his wrist. Control report. Only static answered. Static that twisted into voices. They are watching. Don't stay, leave. It hears you. Run. The team froze. The Horizon's lights turned blood red. A deep, metallic thud echoed from somewhere below them. Then another. Then another. Something was moving, climbing up the ship's decks. The corridor behind them closed on its own with a violent slam. The alarm of their own ship screamed through the comms. Unknown life form detected on the hull. The special forces turned their weapons toward the sound coming up the hallway. Something was coming. Something that had been waiting 12 years for them. The corridor lights kept flashing red as the deep metallic thud moved closer, echoing through the horizon like a giant heartbeat. Each stomp shook dust from the ceiling. Each vibration felt stronger than the last. Commander Hale raised his hand, and the special forces formed a defensive line. Their breathing stayed steady, but inside, every one of them felt a sharp tension. This was not a pirate, not a creature they had trained for. This was something else. The thuds suddenly stopped. Silence. Too quiet. Then the lights went dead. A wave of cold washed through the hallway, as if the ship itself exhaled. In the darkness, Mira whispered, "Commander, we need lights." Before Hale could answer, their helmet lamps flickered on automatically. A narrow cone of white light cut through the dark. But it only showed a few meters ahead, enough to see the corridor, enough to see the shadows, enough to see something move. A shape, tall, thin, bending the wrong way, crossed their path at the far end of the hall. It moved like a broken reflection, flickering out of view before they could fully see it. The horizon groaned as the metal around them shifted again. "Stay tight," Hale said calmly. "We keep going. Retreating is not an option." The docking door already sealed. The team moved forward. Every step echoed loudly. Too loudly. The halls were empty, but the silence pressed against them, heavy and unnatural. They passed another message scratched into the wall. "It copies US." Hale's jaw tightened. "Mira, mark these locations." Before Mira could answer, the floor vibrated. Their lamps flickered. A faint sobbing sound drifted through the air vents. Soft, broken, human. Hale signaled for silence. The sobbing grew louder. They followed the sound until it led them to a door half open, jammed as if forced shut by something inside. Torn cloth hung from the edges. Something had struggled here. Hale forced the door open. Inside was a small storage bay, and in the corner sat a man, dirty, shaking, eyes wide with terror. He looked like he had not slept in days. His voice cracked. "Please, please tell me you're real." The team rushed inside, checking corners, securing the room. The man flinched at every sound. Hale kneeled. "Name." He swallowed hard. "Lieutenant Braun, engineering team. Horizon crew." Mira stared at him. But the Horizon disappeared 12 years ago. Braun shook his head violently. No, that's impossible. I've been here 2 days. Maybe 3. The team exchanged looks. 2 days? Outside, 12 years had passed. Time was wrong on this ship. Braun gripped Hale's arm. "You shouldn't be here. It studies us. It tests us. It learns from us." The phrase on the wall returned to Hale's mind. "It copies us." "What does?" Hale asked. Braun pointed at the floor like the creature was right beneath them. "The core, the machine. It's not from any species we know. It pulled the Horizon into some kind of broken space. Different time. Different rules." He started shivering violently. "It uses our memories, our fears. Every time someone tries to escape, it becomes stronger." Before Hale could ask more, the hallway outside let out a long, distorted groan, like metal being slowly torn apart. The lights flickered. Something scraped along the ceiling. Mira whispered, "It's above us." Braun grabbed Hale's wrist. "It listens. Don't speak loud. It uses voices." It used the captain's voice to lure us into traps. The team froze. A soft knock echoed above them. Slow. Steady. Like someone tapping metal with a single finger. Then the captain's voice floated through the corridor speakers. Clear, calm, and impossible. "Welcome back, crew." Braun covered his ears, trembling. "That's not him. That's it." The lights burst white for a moment, then plunged back to dim red. A loud creaking came from the hallway outside. Something huge was moving. Hale stood. "We are extracting you, Lieutenant. Mira, guard him. Taro, with me. We find the core." Taro nodded, checking his weapon. "We splitting up, sir? We have no choice. We need to shut down whatever is controlling this ship." Braun's voice cracked. "Don't go near the lower decks. That's where the machine is. It's alive. It feels you." Hale placed a hand on the man's shoulder. "We will handle it." The team prepared to move out. But as they stepped into the corridor, their helmet lamps flicked in unison. A shadow slid down the hallway, long, thin, stretching across the walls like liquid darkness. It stopped halfway. Then it stood up. Humanoid in shape, but twisted. Its limbs too long, its neck too thin. Its body flickered like it was jumping between moments in time. It made no sound as it walked. Myra's breath caught. "Sir, it looks like..." She didn't finish. The creature stopped moving. Then its face shifted, skin melting, bones shifting, until it began to resemble a human soldier. One of theirs. A perfect copy of Taro. Same face. Same armor. Same stance. Taro stepped back, shocked. "That's not me." The creature tilted its head, studying him like a mirror trying to understand its reflection. Then it smiled. Taro's smile. Hale raised his weapon. "Do not engage unless necessary." The creature spoke with Taro's voice. "You can't save the ship. You can't save yourselves." Braun screamed from behind them. "It learns. Every move you make, it becomes you." The copy of Taro stepped forward, its eyes empty and cold. The walls began to twist around them, metal bending like soft clay. Hale steadied his weapon. This was no ghost. This was no hallucination. The Horizon had a new crew now, and it wanted more. The creature stood in the red-lit corridor, copying Taro's face with frightening accuracy. Same armor, same eyes, same stance. But the smile, it was wrong. Too wide, too knowing. Commander Hale didn't look away. He kept his weapon steady. "Move back," he ordered quietly. The creature tilted its head, imitating him. It moved its arm the same way Hale did, like a shadow learning to walk. Taro whispered, "It's reading us." Braun's voice shook from behind them. "It sees your thoughts, your memories. Don't let it touch you." The air thickened around them as the metallic walls groaned and twisted. The Horizon felt alive, shifting in response to every step they took. The dim red light flickered like a heartbeat. Slow, deep, heavy. The creature suddenly blinked out of sight. Gone. No sound. No steps. No trail. Hale moved fast. "Taro, Mira, fall back. Secure the survivor. This thing is hunting us." He signaled to Mira. "You take Braun to the docking zone. Seal yourselves in if the corridor stays stable." Mira nodded, pulling Braun away. "Sir, careful." Hale and Taro turned in the opposite direction, toward the lower decks, toward the ship's core, toward the machine Braun feared. As they descended, the ship grew darker. Closer walls, colder air, strange whispers coming through the metal, like old voices trapped inside. Taro checked the scanner. No heat signatures, no life signs. "But this ship is full of something." Hale answered quietly, "Not alive, not dead. Something in between." They reached Deck 7, the engine sector. Here, The horizon looked nothing like a human ship. The metal on the walls was twisted into impossible shapes, spirals and sharp angles that didn't match any blueprint. The floor had patterns like veins glowing faint blue. Taro swallowed. Humans did not build this. At the center of the deck was a giant circular door. It pulsed softly, as if breathing. Symbols none of them recognized glowed across its surface. Hale walked close. The door responded, opening on its own. Inside was a huge chamber, and in the middle of it stood the machine. It was massive, reaching from floor to ceiling, made of rings spinning at different speeds. Each ring held glowing shards of light that moved like liquid. The machine hummed with a dangerous rhythm. And when Hale stepped closer, the rings slowed, as if noticing him. Taro whispered, "Sir, it's reacting to you." Hale felt a strange pull in his chest. A pressure. Like the machine was reading him. The rings expanded, revealing images between the glowing shards. Images of war, planets burning, soldiers fighting. Some faces looked human. Others looked alien. Some he had never seen. "What is this thing?" Taro said. Braun's voice echoed in Hale's memory. "It studies us. It tests us. It learns from us." Hale stepped closer. The machine suddenly projected an image in front of them. A battle scene with human soldiers fighting an unknown enemy. But something was wrong. Their tactics were too perfect. Their movements too sharp. Taro's eyes widened. Those soldiers, they look like us. Not just soldiers. Exact copies of Special Forces teams. Hale clenched his jaw. "It's copying us for war." As he studied the projection, the scene changed, showing the Horizon crew from 12 years ago. They were running through the same corridors, chased by the same creature they saw earlier. Then the projection shifted again, and showed Hale's own team entering the ship. Their voices, their movements, every detail copied. Taro stepped back, fear in his voice. "Sir, it's watching everything right now." The machine suddenly pulsed. The entire chamber shook. A deep, distorted voice filled the room, layered, echoing, shifting between male and female tones. It didn't sound human. It didn't sound alien either. It sounded like everything at once. Human pattern accepted. Strength high. Potential, useful. Taro's face went pale. "It's talking to us." The machine continued. "War requires design. Human form will lead. Replicating unit, online." On the far side of the chamber, metal grew upward like vines shifting into shape. Hale raised his weapon. Taro ready. Metal stretched and twisted until it formed a humanoid body. Tall, armored, and terrifying. A soldier. Made of the ship. Made to look human, but sharper, stronger, emotionless. A copy of a Special Forces soldier. But not Taro this time. It looked like Hale. Taro whispered in horror. "It's making you." The metal Hale opened its eyes. Glowing bright. Its face was calm. Cold. Empty. The machine spoke again. Human commander profile accepted. Prototype complete. Metal Hale took its first step forward. Heavy and deliberate. Hale aimed at it. "Taro, we destroy the core now." But before they could fire, the entire deck warped. The walls bent inward. Gravity shifted sideways. Taro stumbled as the floor tilted like a sinking ship. Sparks burst from the ceiling. The machine screamed with energy. Metal Hale moved fast. Too fast. It charged at them with inhuman speed. Taro fired, but the bullets bent mid-air, twisting away. Hale rolled aside as the metal copy swung its arm, cutting deep into the floor where he just stood. The machine's voice boomed. "Test begins." The chamber sealed shut around them. Hale realized one thing with chilling clarity. The ship wasn't haunted. The ship wasn't broken. The ship was preparing them for something far worse waiting beyond the stars. The chamber shook as the metal copy of Commander Hale lunged forward again. Its movements were smooth, perfect, and fast. Too fast for anything made of steel. Real Hale rolled under a twisted support beam as the metal version smashed through it like thin glass. Sparks rained across the floor. Taro fired again, but the bullets curved away in midair. bending like they were being pushed by an invisible force. Taro cursed under his breath. "Sir, nothing hits it." Hale kept his heartbeat steady. "It learns from us. It knows how we fight. It knows our weapons." The machine in the center pulsed brighter, the spinning rings moving faster. Images flickered across its surface. Images of Hale and Taro from earlier battles, their tactics, their habits, even their mistakes. Every detail, every move, copied. Metal Hale turned its head toward Taro, copying Hale's signature stance, legs firm, shoulders steady, eyes cold. Then the copy spoke, using Hale's voice but without emotion. Human response confirmed. Adapting. The floor twisted beneath them, rising into uneven shapes like living metal. The environment was turning into a battlefield designed by the machine itself. Taro struggled to stay upright as gravity shifted again. "This thing is rewriting the ship." Hale grabbed his shoulder. "Don't fight the floor. Move with it." They slid down the tilted metal into a lower section of the chamber. Metal Hale followed without losing balance, its body adjusting instantly, copying their movements. Taro looked at Hale. "Sir, how do we beat something that learns faster than us?" "We stop trying to fight it our way," Hale said. "We make it fight in a way it doesn't expect." Before they could plan, the chamber walls suddenly peeled open like a blooming metal flower, revealing dark tunnels and shifting hallways beyond. Hale recognized one of them, the engineering route leading toward the reactor spine. He pointed. "That direction. We need to find the system that feeds this thing." They ran. The creature didn't chase immediately. Instead, it stood perfectly still, watching them with Hale's own eyes. Like it was studying, predicting, waiting. Then, a second later, it vanished. Not walked, not ran, just disappeared. Taro swallowed. "It's moving through the ship's metal, like it can step into the walls." Hale didn't slow down. "Then we stay ahead of it." They reached a narrow maintenance corridor. Pipes lined both sides, steam rising from old valves. The smell of burned metal hung in the air. Taro checked his scanner. "The reactor spine is below. But readings are weird. Power is coming from deeper than the engines." "That machine Braun talked about," Hale said. "It must be pulling energy from something older. Something not human." Before they could descend, a soft clinking sound echoed behind them. Slow, sharp, growing louder. Taro whispered, "It's back." Lights flickered. A tall shadow formed at the end of the hallway, stretching long across the floor. But when the figure stepped forward, it wasn't Metal Hale. It was a different copy. A new one. This one looked like Mira. Same armor. Same face. Same calm expression. But the eyes were wrong. No emotion. No soul. Taro breathed. "It's copying the whole team." The Mira copy opened its mouth, and dozens of voices echoed from it. Some human, some alien, some broken. Human pattern expanding. All forms acceptable. Hale raised his weapon but did not fire. "It wants us to run." And that meant they should do the opposite. Hale moved toward it. Taro grabbed his arm. "Sir, you can't." But Hale shook him off. "If it expects us to retreat, then the only chance we have is not to." The Mira copy tilted its head in confusion. Hale sprinted toward it. At the last moment, he slid under it and fired at the floor behind it. The bullet sparked against a weak section of the wall. The metal cracked open, revealing exposed wiring and a power conduit feeding the machine. Electricity surged through the wall. The Mira copy jerked violently, its form glitching. Taro fired into the conduit too, and a burst of white energy exploded outward, throwing both copies backward. The ship screamed, a long metallic roar as the machine felt the hit. For a moment, the floor became solid again. The gravity leveled. Hale stood. "We heard it." Taro stared in shock. "Sir, it didn't expect that." "Exactly," Hale said. "It learns from what we repeat, not what we improvise." They moved quickly down the ladder toward the reactor spine. The heat from below grew stronger. The air became harder to breathe. Hale's comm crackled suddenly. "Commander? Hale? Can you hear?" It was Myra's real voice. She was alive. Taro tapped his wrist. "Mira, where are you?" Static answered. Then Myra's frightened voice broke through. "Commander, it found us. Braun is..." "Hale, it's copying him. Don't." The message ended in a sharp scream. Hale froze. His chest tightened. Not from fear. From anger. "You hold on," he whispered. Taro loaded his weapon. "Sir, we need to hurry." They reached the bottom of the ladder and stepped into a huge open chamber. The reactor spine glowed with blue fire, but wrapped around it were foreign cables, twisted like vines, pulsing with energy. The machine was feeding from the heart of the ship. Hale stepped forward. Then a metallic footstep echoed behind them. Slow, heavy, certain. They turned, and saw not one copy, not two, but three. Metal Hale, Metal Mira, Metal Taro, standing side by side. Perfect copies. Same weapons. Same stances. Same cold eyes. The machine's voice filled the chamber. Test of evolution begins. The copies raised their weapons. Hale whispered only one thing. Then we changed the rules. The metal door slid open with a slow hiss, releasing a cold breath of stale air into the corridor. Admiral Reyes stepped forward first, holding the flashlight tight in his hand. Ethan followed him, and behind them came Mira and Dr. Cade. The others stayed outside, guarding the hall in case the building shifted again. The room inside was dark, but not empty. Ethan pointed his light around. The walls were covered with strange black marks, circles, lines, and symbols that looked like someone had drawn them while shaking in fear. The marks were fresh. Some still looked wet. "This place was used recently," Mira whispered. In the center of the room stood a large glass pod, tall enough for a human to stand inside. Thick cables ran from the pod into the floor, disappearing into the unknown. The glass was fogged from the inside, like someone had been breathing in it. Dr. Cade moved closer, his voice trembling. "This is not military tech. This is older, much older." Ethan scanned the base logs he carried. "This room isn't shown on any map. It shouldn't even be here." Reyes stepped around the pod, flashlight steady. He touched the glass. Something, or someone, was inside. Suddenly, the pod let out a faint clicking sound. Everyone froze. The fog on the glass slowly began to clear, and a handprint appeared on the inside. Mira gasped and stepped back. "It's still active." Dr. Cade leaned in, but Reyes pulled him away. "Don't touch anything." The pod clicked again, louder this time, and a thin crack formed on the surface. Ethan pointed his weapon at it. Mira did the same. Reyes looked around the room. "Search for controls. There must be a way to shut it down before." Before he could finish, the lights in the room flickered. For a second, everything went white. When the lights returned, the crack on the glass had grown longer, stretching across the surface like a spiderweb. Dr. Cade swallowed hard. Whatever they found here, they tried to contain it, but it did not want to stay contained. Ethan noticed something else. Strange metallic plates on the floor around the pod. He knelt to inspect them. Each plate had the same symbol burned into it, a triangle with a circle inside. "It's the same symbol from the shuttle Captain Drax traveled in," Ethan said softly. Mira touched her sleeve communicator. "Team outside, report." Static. No voices. Ethan tried his own. "Smith? Patel? Do you copy?" Only silence came back. Reyes clenched his jaw. "This is not normal interference. Something in this room is blocking communication." As if responding to his voice, the pod gave a loud metallic pop. A small piece of glass fell and shattered on the floor. "Everybody fall back," Reyes ordered. They stepped toward the exit, but the door suddenly slid shut with a violent thud, trapping them inside. Mira ran to the panel and tried to force it open. "It's locked from the outside." Ethan turned to Reyes. "Sir, what do we do now?" Reyes didn't answer. His attention was fixed on the pod. The crack had widened, and a dim glow appeared inside, a shifting, pulsing blue light, like something alive was waking up. Dr. Cade whispered, trembling, "This energy, It's the same frequency as the signal that led the missing team here. Ethan felt a cold chill. So, whatever broke their shuttle, whatever caused the blackout, it started from here. The glow inside the pod became brighter, almost blinding. The fog cleared completely, revealing a human-shaped outline standing inside. But it wasn't human. Its body was long and thin, made of light and shadow. Its face had no eyes, only a smooth surface that reflected the light back at them. Its chest pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat made of blue fire. Mira whispered, What is that?" The creature moved. Not with steps, more like drifting forward, its feet never touching the ground. It pressed its hand against the broken glass. The surface began to melt around its fingers. Reyes raised his weapon. "Everyone get behind me!" But Dr. Cade stepped forward. "No, don't shoot. Look at how it moves. It's not attacking. It's searching." The creature's head tilted toward them, as if sensing their presence. The blue light inside it flickered rapidly. Ethan felt a strange warmth in his chest, like something was reaching toward his thoughts. Then he heard it. A voice. Soft. Echoing. Not in his ears, but inside his mind. "Help me!" Ethan stumbled backward, eyes wide. "It spoke to me." Reyes tightened his grip. "What did it say?" It said, "Help me." The creature pressed its hand harder. The glass cracked open fully, releasing a burst of cold air. The lights flickered again, and the symbols on the walls began to glow faintly, as if reacting to its escape. The door behind them hissed, then unlocked by itself. Reyes shouted, "Move! Out now!" They rushed out of the room as the creature stepped free from the shattered pod. The corridor lights blinked wildly, and the air turned cold, filled with a strange humming energy. As the team ran, Ethan looked back. The creature was watching them, its blue heart glowing, its voice echoing in his mind again. "Do not leave me. They will return." Ethan's heart raced. They? Who were they? And why did the creature sound afraid? The team ran through the dark corridor, their footsteps echoing across the silent base. Behind them, the strange blue light still flickered inside the room where the creature had escaped. The metal walls shook as if the entire structure was responding to its presence. Admiral Reyes was the first to speak. "Nobody panic. Stay close. Stay sharp. We regroup in the main hall." But fear was already crawling inside everyone's chest. Even Mira, the strongest among them, kept glancing over her shoulder. Ethan slowed down for a moment, trying to understand the voice that still echoed faintly in his mind. "Do not leave me. They will return." Who were they? And why did the creature fear them? Before he could think further, Reyes grabbed his arm. "Move! We're not safe here." They reached the main hall, wide, empty, full of broken screens and scattered papers. The air felt heavy, almost electric. Lieutenant Smith and the two guards who were supposed to be outside the strange room were nowhere to be seen. Mira looked around, gun raised. "Where are they? They were here a few minutes ago." Dr. Cade's voice shook. "Maybe the creature took them?" Reyes shook his head. "No. It didn't act hostile. Something else is here." Ethan checked the broken monitors. Most were dead, but one flickered with faint static. A distorted shape appeared for a split second. A tall, shadow-like figure with glowing red points where eyes should be. Then the screen went black. Mira stepped back. "What was that?" Dr. Cade whispered. "Not the same energy as the blue creature. This one is darker. Much darker." Ethan felt a cold breeze behind him. He turned fast. Nothing was there. But the air felt heavier, like something invisible had brushed past him. Reyes ordered, "Everyone tighten formation. Lights on full power." They formed a circle, guns outward, flashlights moving across the hall. The shadows on the walls seemed to shift on their own, stretching longer and curling upward like claws. Then they heard it. A deep, low rumble. Almost like breathing. Mira whispered, "Sir, something is here with us." The breathing grew louder, coming from above them. They all aimed their lights upward. For a moment, nothing appeared. Then the ceiling darkened, as if the shadows were gathering together. The darkness twisted, pulling itself into a long, tall shape. Red glowing dots appeared, 2 eyes staring straight at them. Ethan felt his heart stop. The creature on the ceiling was nothing like the blue figure from the pod. This one looked like a living shadow, its body made of black smoke, its form shifting constantly. When it opened its mouth, no teeth were visible, only more darkness. Reyes shouted, "Back! Move back!" But before they could retreat, the shadow creature dropped from the ceiling, landing silently on the floor. The impact shook the room, but it made no sound, not even a growl. It simply stood there, staring. Then, it rushed forward. A blur of darkness shot toward them. Mira fired, Ethan fired, Reyes fired. Bullets passed through the black form like it was fog. The creature's arm stretched unnaturally long, slamming Smith's abandoned radio against the wall so hard it shattered into dust. Dr. Cade screamed, "It's not solid. It's pure shadow." Reyes yelled, "Fall back! To the western wing now!" They sprinted down another hallway, the shadow creature sliding across the floor behind them like a river of darkness. The lights in the ceiling exploded one by one as it passed. Ethan looked back for a second. Bad idea. The creature's red eyes locked onto him, and he felt a stabbing pressure inside his skull. A whisper entered his mind. Cold. Deep. Nothing like the blue creature's voice. "Return what is ours." Ethan stumbled, gripping his head. Mira grabbed his arm and pulled him forward. "Ethan, focus. Don't let it inside your mind." The team burst into the western wing and slammed a heavy metal door shut. Mira locked it, then collapsed against the wall, breathing hard. On the other side, the shadow creature slammed its body against the door, but no sound came out. Only a deep vibration that made the metal tremble. Reyes spoke between breaths. "That thing, it's hunting the blue creature. That must be what they means." Dr. Cade nodded shakily. "It fits. The blue one was trapped. Contained. Maybe these shadows wanted it." "Why?" Ethan asked. No one answered. The metal door suddenly bent inward, the steel stretching like rubber. The shadow creature's hand began to push through the cracks like smoke squeezing through air vents. Mira raised her gun but knew it wouldn't help. "Sir, we're running out of options." Reyes turned to Ethan. "You said the blue creature spoke to you. Can it help us?" Ethan hesitated. "I don't know." But at that exact moment, the blue glow reappeared. The creature from the pod drifted into the hallway behind them. Its glowing chest pulsed fast, like it was scared. But its presence calmed the shaking in the floor, and the shadow behind the door paused. The blue creature raised its hand and touched the wall. The symbols on its skin lit up, sending a soft blue wave through the metal. The shadow creature hissed, a horrible echoing sound, and pulled back from the door. The blue creature spoke again inside Ethan's mind. "They cannot follow. If you trust me." Reyes stepped forward. "What does it want?" Ethan swallowed. "It wants us to follow it." Mira looked at the bending door. "We don't have a choice." The blue creature extended its hand quietly, waiting. Reyes nodded. "Team, move." They followed the glowing being deeper into the dark base, leaving the shadow creature shrieking behind the walls. But none of them knew where the blue creature was leading them, or what waited ahead. The corridor ahead was dark and silent. Only the soft blue glow from the creature lit the way. The Special Forces team followed closely, weapons ready, hearts racing. Behind them, the shadow creature slammed again and again into the walls, but it could not enter this part of the base. The blue creature's presence kept it away. Ethan could still feel the creature's thoughts in his mind. Soft, worried, urgent, but not hateful, not dangerous, just desperate. Admiral Reyes whispered, "Where is it taking us?" No one answered. The blue creature led them deeper until they reached a huge underground chamber. The ceiling was so high it disappeared into darkness. In the center of the room stood a large circular machine, silent and lifeless, covered in dust and strange alien symbols. The blue creature stopped in front of it. Mira whispered, "What is this?" Dr. Cade stepped closer. This is a gateway. Not a weapon. A portal." Reyes narrowed his eyes. A portal to where? Before anyone could answer, the blue creature placed its glowing hand against the machine. The entire structure woke up at once. Ancient lights flickered. Rings turned. The chamber vibrated as a deep hum filled the air. Then the creature spoke inside Ethan's mind again. My home is broken. I escaped the shadows. I need this to return. Ethan stepped forward. Why did those shadow creatures chase you? The answer appeared inside his mind. Clear shapes, memories, visions. A world of light. A peaceful race made of energy and color. Then darkness consuming everything. Shadow beings rising from cracks in reality. A war between light and darkness. The blue creature escaping through the portal. And landing on this abandoned base long ago. Ethan felt his heartbeat slow. It wasn't running from us. It was running for its life. Reyes lowered his weapon. So the shadows want to take you back? The creature's thoughts trembled. They want to finish us. Suddenly, the metal doors behind them exploded inward. The giant shadow creature entered the chamber. Taller, stronger, its red eyes burning brighter than before. It didn't walk. It floated forward like smoke in water. The team formed a defensive line. Reyes shouted, "Protect the creature! Cade, help it activate the portal!" The shadow moved fast, crossing half the room in 1 second. Mira fired, Ethan fired, everyone fired, but the bullets passed through like they were hitting mist. The shadow creature struck the ground, and a wave of dark energy knocked everyone back. Ethan slid across the floor, hitting a pillar hard. His vision blurred for a second. The shadow raised its arm. Darkness stretched towards the blue creature like a long claw. The blue creature stepped back, but it was cornered. The portal behind it glowed brighter, but not enough to activate fully. Ethan forced himself up. "We need to buy time." Reyes nodded. "Smith and Carter, flank right. Mira with me." They charged, firing everything they had, even though they knew it would not stop the shadow. But the distraction slowed its advance for a moment. Just enough. Dr. Cade reached the controls of the alien machine. "Almost there. Keep it busy." The shadow creature roared silently. No sound, only vibration. The ceiling cracked. Dust rained down. It lunged at Reyes, its arm stretching like a whip. Mira shoved Reyes aside and took the hit instead. A blast of dark energy threw her across the chamber. "Mira!" Ethan ran to her. She was hurt but still conscious. She grinned painfully. "Still alive, now go." Ethan turned back to the blue creature. Its glow flickered weakly. It couldn't fight anymore. Ethan shouted, "Tell me what to do." The blue creature raised its hand slowly and touched Ethan's forehead. A flood of images entered his mind, a sequence of movements, hand symbols, and commands that could activate the final switch of the portal. Ethan understood what to do. He sprinted to the control pillar and placed his hands exactly where the symbols showed. The rings of the portal began spinning faster. Blue light filled the entire chamber. The shadow creature screeched, its body tearing apart in the brightness. Reyes yelled, "Do it, Ethan! Finish it!" Ethan pressed the final symbol. A beam of pure light shot upward. The portal burst open like a sun rising in the middle of the room. The shadow creature staggered, its form dissolving under the light. It reached out its long arm toward the blue being one last time. But the portal split the shadow apart like smoke in a storm. The chamber shook again. The blue creature looked at Ethan. Its voice was gentle inside his mind. "Thank you. Your kind protects more than your world. You protect life." Then it stepped into the portal. Its glowing form dissolved into the light. The portal closed with a soft sigh, and the chamber fell silent. The shadow creature was gone. The blue creature was safe. And the base was quiet once more. Reyes exhaled slowly. Mission complete. Mira laughed weakly. "We survived. Again." Ethan stared at the now dark portal machine. He whispered, "We didn't just save a creature. We saved a whole world." Reyes placed a hand on his shoulder. "That's why the galaxy fears us. And why it needs us." The special forces walked out of the chamber, their steps echoing in the silence. A new mystery waited for them. But tonight, they had one.